Hey, everyone, and welcome back to another FEM Talk Tuesday. Yes, it is that time. I just had to say, if you all could see us backstage before we get started, we're going to have to show you some of these reels. It is hilarious, but we are powerhouse women back there doing what we have to do. So we transition and do everything that we need to do. But it is absolutely funny to see us getting ready for the show. So we'll have to show you that one day. But without further ado, I'm going to bring in the beautiful ladies of Fem Talk. Here we go. Let's get this conversation started. We have Shima Shishi Talks.
Hey, Fem Talkers.
Hey. And we have Mimi Melissa Girl Bossed Up.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
And we have Brandy the Disconnector.
Hello! Still low key mad. I need my slides to work.
They will. It will happen. Look, we're just gonna give you some good luck here. It's gonna happen.
Good Joe.
I ain't got no chill and neither than the slides tonight.
The perfect t-shirt.
No chill.
So you all know how we start this show off with our it is hot topic time, but before we go any further, just want to say hello out there to Lee Diamond. Thank you for joining. We've got hello Fem Talkers from our very own Shima Shishi. We've got Phil McCormick out there. What's good, Fem Talk? Hey, Phil.
What's going on, bro?
And we've got hello from our big sister Alicia out there. Hey.
Hello.
Thank you everybody for joining us on Fem Talk. So tonight we're going to be talking about this new mask mandate. Now the change, or yes, looks like Mimi saying like, "Oh my, like what's happening here?"
Right.
So, if you all have heard, the mask mandate is being lifted, particularly for the airlines. Well, let's see. I have here in my handy dandy phone some of the information. You know, I have a child, right? You hear that, even though he's way past that stage. But handy dandy is my handy dandy phone. So it does say that the airlines have made masks now optional, and the airlines that have adopted this optional mandate now is or non-mandate, I should say, is Delta, American, United, Southwest, Alaska, JetBlue, Frontier, Allegiant, Hawaiian Airlines, and Sun Country Airlines. Never heard of Sun Country, but okay.
So all of them.
They have all seized people from requiring them to actually wear the mask. I'll be flying on next Thursday. I will be wearing my mask. I will have.
If it's not driving distance, I'm not going.
Okay,
Y'all can restart that pandemic all by yourself.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
I actually think that we probably should have wore masks on planes prior to the whole pandemic, because you're just so close to people, and people are just sometimes they're a little disrespectful with their germs. So,
I'm telling you, I will never stop saying it. When I went to Greece, I was fine. I sat on the plane next to the sick man. 2 days, second day in Greece, I was sick.
Yeah. And that was common for you, right? Traveling so much, because you travel so much, and every time you came back, you know, you had everybody's germ. Yeah, so I think that should be mandatory all the time, not just because of COVID, just because, you know, people have germs and they like to share their germs, and it's just the close proximity. So
they happen to punish certain people.
Huh? Say that again.
No chill. No chill.
No chill.
Rather than deal with the culprits accordingly, they would rather go ahead and lift that mask mandate, because certain people don't understand the word no.
Exactly.
Well,
and did you see that they had to ask you to be understanding on both sides if the people don't wear them? please understand. If the people do wear them, please understand. They try to mitigate some of those fights that break out, you know, and the antagonizing.
Here's my thing. If you cannot conduct yourself in a civil way while on an airplane, you don't need to be in a goddamn plane.
Exactly.
And this is FEM talk.
Right. Stay home. I'm sorry. You said this is FEM talk. Stay your ass home.
It's FEM talk. Talk, girl. Talk it.
Keep your hands to yourself. All the stuff they taught you when you were a kindergartner. Cover your mouth.
Some lessons
wash your
hands. Been recognized.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's back to that, and I go back to years ago, pre-COVID, when we used to kind of shun more of the Asian population and culture that was already wearing masks due to pollution and whatever. And, you know, the Michael Jacksons of the world and things like that. They always wore masks back in the day. I'm that new person because it's not about just COVID at this point. I don't want none of your germs. I don't want your flu. I don't want your cold. I don't want your whatever infection you got and ain't telling nobody about. I don't want none of it.
Yeah. Agreed. Absolutely agree. So this is what it is, everybody. But I would say, you know, just to be on the safe side, wear your mask when you get on the plane. You know, COVID is still here, so just take the proper precautions.
COVID is still here, and COVID is still killing people. So
yeah.
And it's just waiting to get a chance to come right back full force, and this is going to be the thing that allows it to happen.
Right. It's like
these variants are no joke, and every time you get a mix of vaccinated versus unvaccinated, mask versus unmasked, you got a whole nother level of things that's going to present its funny little head, and I'm just going to be like, okay.
Yeah.
To the store and home. I'm okay with that. I'm a homebody in the first damn place, so that's that.
Just the idea of being able to take it off for a minute if you need to, because sometimes it does become too much. But I like the choice, but I also like that I don't catch everything anymore. I agree.
Yeah.
Wear it. Just wear it. If you can. You know,
like you said, wear it when you take it off. I mean, it was annoying on the plane last year. I was eating my little food, and every time I put my little food down, can you put your mask back on? I mean, you know, those kind of things. But I think overall, and you know what it also does? It when you got your mask on, you can't smell everybody's bad breath. So hey, there you go. Boosh, I don't gotta smell your breath. Hello.
Even more that's a bigger reason.
Let's be honest. That the mask done made some things a lot more bearable than before. So let's be honest.
That's right. I agree.
Especially when you get that person that want to lean over and start a conversation for no reason. They don't like the sound of their own thoughts.
Right.
Put that mask on. You know?
Well.
And right.
And moving along to our next topic. Moving along.
Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Y'all know I'm telling the truth.
It is true. It is
all that bad breath that's under that mask. And you know, people can smell the breath now. So so you know better when you put that mask on it hit you back in the face. Do something with that breath now. Come on.
All right. So I just have some other funny news that I wanted to share with everybody before we get into
they're gonna blow us up. They're gonna blow us up.
So listen to this. It says an international group of scientists has updated a message of friendship to alien beings and is proposing to beam it to a ring of stars near the center of our galaxy. On Earth, though, there are other scientists that are not feeling this as welcoming. So I'm going to show you the picture for this message. Okay, I got a really good laugh at this because I just think this is silly. So here is the picture with two human beings waving. So my questions are,
we gonna die, y'all.
And I'm going to show it again. So they said that this is a friendly message, right? However, how do we know that this is a friendly message to an alien? Maybe this could mean, you know, screw you, okay? or we have no idea, or maybe our bodies could be offensive to them, however they look, right? How do we know? And what are the other little squiggly lines?
It looks like DNA. Is that DNA over there?
It doesn't look like bodies. It looks like, the Pac-Man game. They're gonna say those people look like Pac-Man.
It's like, oh, they sent us naked pictures of them and DNA.
Yeah.
Well, hello.
What about a picture of a human? Duh. Send a picture.
Well, they're going to use the stars to do it. So they're going to put stars together. It's actual stars, right?
Brandy.
No,
they didn't say
that.
Shout out.
They didn't say they were okay.
No. Oh. So I have no idea.
But they're going to wipe out whatever said that.
Yeah. So I just thought that was funny though, because it's like, how do we know? How do we know what message we're actually sending?
What we're saying,
right? Exactly.
I guess we'll find out eventually, huh?
Exactly. Scientists came up with this. That doesn't look good for us. That does not look good for us.
We're supposed to be the smart people. What the hell?
We won't say that for all scientists. It's not for all scientists though, right? Like many scientists, they are not in agreement with this. It's just
you think?
Why didn't y'all get Neil deGrasse Tyson's input on this one?
So everyone, that was just a little funny for you, a little funny in the news today. Just wanted to share that because I had a good time laughing at that. I just didn't understand it. But anyway, we are going to get on to a more serious topic, talking about intentional living. This is Intentional Living Part 2 with the absolutely amazing Dr. Deidre Anderson, who came on the last time, and she gave us so much knowledge and wisdom and so many nuggets to walk away from. And we just said we have to have her back to continue to share what she was sharing last time. And I do actually have one of the quotes in here that Dr. D shared the last time that I just wanted to bring up. She said, when preparation meets opportunity, the promotion comes. And then she was talking about leaders, the next leaders. And if you are not a leader, if you don't have a successor, then you're not really a leader. So I just wanted to bring up some of the value that was given last time that we actually had here in the system. So, but we're going to bring her in and we're going to talk about intentional living, everyone. Let's go. Here we go. After our commercial break, though. There we go. a little teaser for everybody. And I'm like Brandy this week. What is going on? Here we go. And we are back, and I just have to share this here, the Power of We Symposium.com. You can go there. You saw that commercial. You can go right there and get your tickets. There are virtual tickets available as well, or you can donate at $ Lauren Michaels Harris to give, whatever you can. No amount is too small to give to the children of the inner city of Chicago. And we will be there. Shima and I will actually be there on Thursday. Yes. So can't wait to, I just want to see the kids and the breakthroughs that they have and just the excitement of the children. So I can't wait to see that. But without further ado, everyone, we are going to bring in Dr. Deidre Anderson. Yay! Looking beautiful as usual.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
I'm trading places. I need symmetry up in my life.
There you go.
I love it. Thank you, Brandy. This is what happens when you have a tech person on your team. You don't have to worry about anything.
Yes.
So we appreciate that. So how have you been, Dr. D, since we last had you on the show?
Well, I have been readjusting my life's rhythm. Loads of doors have been opening and opportunities have been chasing me down. And it has meant that I've had to try and balance myself again, or not balance, but like I said, find my new rhythm. So that's what I've been working on in the midst of all these opportunities, making sure that my life's priorities of family, my life priority of all of my relationships, my give back, all those things don't get lost. So it happens that we have to recalibrate sometimes, and that's where I am.
Yeah. So I have to ask you something just based on what you just said, because you said chasing you down. And I want you to just tell everybody out there just how significant it is when you are living on purpose and living just according to your calling, how that happens, where things are chasing you down and you don't have to necessarily go out and try to find them.
That's good.
Well, I've always believed in whatever I do, doing it with all of my might, and no matter how big or small the audience, no matter whether it's paid or it's an opportunity that I'm doing as a volunteer, I've always believed in doing it with all of your might. I've also always believed in being generous and open-handed and having an abundance mindset. And I simply believe that those things come back to you when you're generous, when you're giving, when you're intentional, when you operate in excellence. Those things really make room for you. Anybody who knows me knows that one of my challenge areas is marketing. And I've never really formally marketed myself. I've never conquered social media yet. I really mean it. Opportunities are chasing me down. And every opportunity has come through word of mouth from someone who has experienced something that I've done, who now has referred me and kicked the door open. I mean, literally kicked the door open at another place. You've got to bring her in. You have to have Dr. D here. And I'm so honored by that. I really am honored by that. But it comes really from no matter who's looking, no matter who's in the audience, no matter what, always making sure that whatever I do it with the highest degree of excellence, in love, with generosity, with compassion, with all those core values that I have. And that's what pays the way. I don't have to chase things down. They chase me down.
Yeah. Ooh.
Wonderful.
That's so good, and such a testament to the service that you've provided to people, right? Because then they just say, okay, hey, when that opportunity arises, I know someone, and this is how good she is, right? Because the service that you had already given them. So that referral system and that word of mouth is bigger than when you're out there looking for something. Yeah.
Yeah, your gifts will make room for you and bring you before great men and women.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Dr. D, one of the things, and I forget what we call ourselves, Dr. Deers or something.
Dr. D tribe.
We got
Dr. D tribe. We're the tribers. We're the tribers. But one of the things that when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. And believe it. And what you've shown me is just your authenticity and the ability to be who you are in any setting. And one of the things that to me is also a testimony to who you are is, I remember the first time I went away to something actually to transform her. And when I came back, my husband, he was leery about me going, and so was my bestie. But when I came back, I was different. And they said, if that's how you're going to come back after you go to her, then you can go. And I think that's also a testament to what you do and what the person we experience when we come from one of your events. Tell us some of the things or some of the beliefs that you have that, and knowing you is so hard for me to explain. Tell us some of the beliefs that when you come out of that you're looking to exchange with women in some of the activity or events that you hold. Tell us some of those things, because
Yeah, I'm simply on a mission to empower women to be change agents in their families, change agents in their neighborhoods, change agents across the world. I really believe that when women transform, they transform everything around them.
Mm.
And in the day that we're living in this crazy, complex world that we're in, that if women do not rise to the occasion, we're going to be in more and more trouble. So I simply want to empower women to be transformational, that everything they touch, they understand that they have a great deal of influence. And so I want them to be able to use that influence intentionally. So that's what I do. I create women who are change agents, and then who go and they transform.
I love that. I love that. Because, one of the things that I've realized, even being a woman, it's hard when you get into your different settings based on how you were raised. It's so hard for many of us to stand up and become that woman. And I know when I went to some of the things you did, you unlocked it for me. You unlocked what I had inside. You unlocked the fear. You unlocked my ability to say something. You unlocked my my presence even at a table. What does that, why do you see so many women need that? What do you see, or what do you understand that women need to just come out of something? Like, what is that about?
Well, I really do believe that locked inside of every woman, there's a pioneer, a bold architect of change. I believe that. So because I believe that, I create safe spaces where women who are behind that lock I was talking about feel empowered to turn the key and unleash their inner hero. And it's an amazing thing that happens within a community of women. So I really believe that I just know it. I know inside there's that hero, there's that pioneer, and we create the environment where it's not just me, it's the community of women that we're in, and it's the safety that we provide that creates the atmosphere of transformation. And I love to see it happen, because once you're transformed, then you go around and back and you transform your sister, and that's how we create the movement.
I have to just give a testimony to that too, because I can remember, meeting Shima telling me about Transform Her the very first year. And I just said, oh, well, okay. I'm like, who's Dr. D, right? And then I'm like, okay, I'll go. And I'm like, oh, well, it's Cancun. Of course I'm going to go, right? But when we started the journey before getting to the destination, I was so amazed by what, started to come out. Things that I had probably forgot about before doing the exercises that we did. Things that I didn't even know were holding me back, right? Before the exercises that we did. And I'm like, okay, we're on to something here. And then some things started to unlock. And it became really instrumental in, me going through cancer and knowing like, oh, I had gone through this exercise and now this person wanted to come out. And it was just, it was unbelievable to me how much you unlocked, as Melissa said, through your program. And then when we got to Cancun, how you built a group. I said to Shima, I'm like, I have never been around that many women and there not be like, there wasn't any crabs in a barrel mentality, nobody trying to hold the other one back, everybody being open to being expressive and authentic and being real about who they were and what they wanted, and nobody looked at anybody's different. It was just, I couldn't believe it, to be perfectly honest with you. And I didn't know from the first day that I was sitting out on the on the cabana waiting for you guys to finish the planning that's what that was going to be, right? I had no idea, but I'm so glad that Shima brought me along, because I was like, wow, I'm in for the long haul with this. I'm
See, now I have a question, y'all. How long have you known Dr. D? Because I just met and found out about Dr. D a few months ago. And I feel like y'all been hiding something magical.
Yeah, I was gonna say we hold on to her like this. I'm sorry, I can't lie.
The world got to know about Dr. D.
That's
now.
right.
I'm serious, because
exactly, like, what you mean, man? Well, I love this lady. I only known her a little while.
I'm gonna be honest. It's a protection thing, right? Like,
it really is.
Yeah,
because it's that gift.
Yeah. We got to keep
y'all
her
can't.
safe first. We got to
I
make
hate
sure
that. I'm
you're good
sorry.
before we let you come around her.
I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it. I gotta vet you.
Being
I'm a
selfish,
vet you.
Brandy. But you know what? You know, and Dr. D knows this because from the first time I met her to today, everywhere I've gone, every business I've come to your point, Brandy, I have brought Dr. D because everywhere I've gone, you know, and I don't say this trying to brag, but I say it. I'm usually the first Black woman in that space. And then I get into that space, and I'm probably the only woman of color in administration that's on the executive level. And one of the things that I believe in is that unless we bring others up with us, we just aren't gonna move this pendulum that Dr. D was talking about. And Dr. D, you've been in so many places. I just bring her along to every place I've gone. You know, because I want more women and want more, and it's not just women. I want more people to be able to bring out who is on the inside of them. And I know for me, it's like I just want that word to get out because I know things don't change unless we change.
That's good.
We need more spaces where women. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say we need more spaces where women feel safe and cradled. Where women feel like they can authentically be who they are and not just belong, but be accepted and be beloved. That creates an atmosphere where we begin to thrive, where we support one another, we cradle one another, we cheer one another on. It's so, so critical. Alliances between women have got to become the norm and not the exception. And I think that that's what we've begun to create. And it really is not just me. I mean, I appreciate all the accolades, but community cannot be formed with one person. Community is formed through a network of people. And you know that I always say it, that one woman by herself is formidable. But when you have a community of women who link arms, they're unstoppable. But it takes all of the women in that tribe to create that strength. And I think that that's something that we have been able to create through Women Empowered, and just allow women to not only find their voices, but find the confidence to go out and to use those voices to transform, like I said, their families, their communities, and now even the world. So it is an amazing thing.
We've got a lot of the tribe out there right now commenting and agreeing. Yes. So Shima, go ahead and say what you were going to say.
I was thinking more of the process of how you get people to live intentionally. And part of that is exactly what Mimi said. You almost have to get out of your own way, or get out of your own head, or get all those other things that are bogging you down out of the way. And for me, I think that's what Transform Her showed me, and not just the first year, but definitely the first year with myself, but creating the tribe and the community and watching people come in and learn this trait of getting out of your own way and releasing and letting these things go. And then so for me, everything is a movie, to watch you get them to the point where they can believe in themselves, believe in this safe space, and then launch this whole intentional life. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Let's go ask. Let's just talk about that little thing, right? That little
thing right there. Because Dr. D, let's be honest. So many women don't trust women because we hear more and more horror stories about women hurting women in all of these spaces. You know, the rumors out there that women don't get along. You know, unfortunately, I've experienced more anti-success traits from women that should have helped me along the way, but even recently, they have hurt me. They have done their best to hurt me along the way. Very little support from so many women that are in a space that have a seat at the table, and very little support. What do you do differently to create, number one, the space? And what do you recommend we continue to do to try to break that bad behavior out there with other women not supporting women?
Well, I mean, it's really true that hurting people hurt people. And so the first is to understand that um, a woman or any person who has vindictive behavior where they strike out at other people, really, that's hurt. That's hurt, and a lot of times it's self-loathing that comes from self-loathing. So the first thing is not to take that personally, because if you take it personally, you will begin to wear it, and it will begin to radiate off of you. So you have to forgive those people with bad behaviors. I'm not saying excuses, I'm saying forgive it, right? So just know that that's what's happening most of the time, is that people are hurt. And that's why one of the first things we do is the work of getting in touch with those wounds, the wounds on our timeline that go way back. What has wounded us along the way, tracing our history back to the place where we may have given up hope, or we may have abdicated our authentic selves to somebody's should, have to, must, and become somebody that we didn't recognize. Tracing our history back to the place where we first lost our sense of courage and went into the place where we went into a shell. We do that hard work of tracing our pain and healing from it so that we don't become that woman.
Yeah.
Except for the grace of God, there go I. I mean, I could sit here and point fingers. I could sit here and cast stones, but remember when Jesus picked up that woman who was caught in adultery, and the crowd was ready to stone her. He said, "Yo, let the one that's out here in this circle that's without sin, you be the first one to cast the stone." And when the woman went to remove her hand and looked up, there wasn't a person left, because except for the grace of God, there go us, right? So that's why we work so hard to go back, to heal those wounds, to be honest with ourselves about our shortcomings, and be transparent and vulnerable about where we know we fall short, but also to exercise self-compassion and to say where I fall short, that's okay, because my sister over here has my back. And I'm not the worst thing that I've ever done, right? I'm not. So all those things, if you really think about your own shortcomings, if you really think about the worst days that you've had, it helps you to be more compassionate and more forgiving of those women, and not to take it so personally, because like I'm telling you, most of the time it's not even about you. It's not about you. But we have to be the bigger person. We have to be the stronger person. And I would even say not necessarily be the pathway to healing for her, but to have that hope that she will find her pathway to healing, and not wish any evil, not wish any anything bad to happen to her, but really to extend love, to extend grace, and keep walking with their head up, knowing who you are. So I need to say that, because all of us get hurt along the way. It's a part of the journey. If you're going to be someone who's about something, you're going to be that person in the arena who the crowd is pointing at, who the crowd is pointing out every fault of, who the crowd is judging. It's just the way it goes. So if you're going to be a world changer, then you get used to the crowd jeering at you. And that's why the space that we create, that safe place where we can remove every mask, that safe place where we can be flawed but be loved, that safe place where we can actually talk about our dreams and people don't jeer at them, and people don't minimize them, but they say, "Yo, sis, you can really let that really can happen." That's why we create that safe space. But for those who are on the outside looking in and pointing and criticizing, my heart goes out to them, because they haven't found that space, and they're just hurting. They're just hurting. So I don't spend much time thinking about them. because what I focus on, I empower. Basically, I'm like Jesus. I just I shake the dust off of my feet. I wish them well, and I move on. I don't have the energy really to expend there. I don't expend my energy on those women, on those men, on those haters, because I will always have them. But I can make a choice. I can make a choice with whom I surround myself. I can make a choice who's in my inner circle. I can make a choice who I spend my time with. And that's where my power comes. My power doesn't come from the situation that may have been harmful. My power comes from how I respond to that situation, right? Because life is really only 10% what happens to you, and then 90% how you choose to respond. And event plus your response is what yields the outcome. So focus on what you want to empower. Focus on how you respond. Focus on the fact that you walk away with your head up, you keep your mouth off of that person, and you just shrug your shoulders, and you're stronger and you're better. You're better on the other side of that.
That's right.
That's so good. That's so good. And even to extend that to your thoughts, right? Talk a little bit about even changing your thought process around the haters, and because sometimes we don't respond, but even if we're thinking it's going to cause us, harm or pain, or so talk about that too, the thought process behind it.
Well, again, it's my choice. Why would I choose to give my energy to that?
Yeah.
Why would I choose that? Why would I choose to sit there and lament, sit there and kind of stew, sit there? I don't have time. I'm a world changer. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. And it's probably your loss. But again, notice that I'm not coming from a place of arrogance, because you got to watch that. You got to watch it. And most of the times when we're prideful and puffed up, it's phony anyway. Well, I don't. It's their loss. Sis, please calm all that down. Really, just be honest with yourself. That hurt. I'm disappointed. It's okay. Thank you. Shima said exactly what. It's all right. It's all right. And now I choose to move on. And if I need healing, I know I've got a tribe of sisters where I can go. And if I can.
That right there.
Yeah. And just being in this tribe, right? It looks like Dr. D is frozen, but just being part of the Dr. D tribe, you could just if I could just show with body language, right? Like you could just let your shoulders down. You could sink into these women and pour it all out if you have to, and know that that's where it's staying. So I just love that she just talked about the tribe and the space that she creates for us and has created for us, because Shima, talk a little bit about your kind of revelation behind the tribe, because this speaks so much to what Dr. D created. So talk a little bit about that.
I guess recently we've been learning and teaching and training with her, and just purging things that are in our own way, and creating and I don't know if I said leading, but leading. And recently my revelation was not only that we have been given or worked hard towards a certain platform or something that you want to do, or a place you want to elevate from or give from or serve from. Those things are forefront in our minds. And I say our people who have been through this tribe process. It's forefront in your mind. The part that I did not pay attention to, and that was such an amazing revelation to me, was still that word platform. But for me, it was being lifted and supported by these women who have gone through this process, who have purged their hurt, and who've been through and by and been through and under and against these haters. So when it came time to look around, granted, I said this when I was going through it, I have my family, I have my friends, and I've leaned on them just as much. But this platform is not only for me to be projected or to serve or share my gifts with the world, but for me to be held and supported and protected and cradled by this same tribe holding my platform.
Yeah, love that. I love that. So let's pin that. I know we lost Dr. D, but absolutely love that you kind of changed not changed the meaning of it. You just found your meaning in platform. I love that. So we're going to go to a commercial, and then we're going to come back with BJ's segment. Sorry, guys, that's Brandy the Disconnector. I call her BJ. We're going to do
a lot of nicknames around here.
Exactly. Hopefully, Dr. D will be back in after Brandy's segment is over. All righty, here we go, everybody. Let's do this. Oh, BJ, I'm stuck. I broke it. Here we go, everybody. And I'm still okay. There we go.
All right, y'all. So last month, I let y'all know that I'm going to be sharing what I use to protect myself when I am online. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully y'all can see it. I'm going to pop back over here real quick so I can make sure y'all see what I need you to see. All right. So this is Norton 360 with LifeLock Ultimate Plus. As you can see, it's $299.88 for the first year, and it's going to be about $350 each year after that. Now, I'm sure some of y'all have already just said, oh my God, that's expensive. You know what's expensive? Having your identity stolen. You know what's expensive? Getting a virus on your computer that you can't get off and having to have the whole thing scrubbed and all your files and everything get corrupted and go with it. That's expensive. When you weigh that out, it would behoove you to learn what an LLC is. Get you one, get your EIN number, start yourself a business, whether you're actively running that business or not. You can use this as a write-off if it's that serious of an expense to you. But most people get taxes back. $300 could save your life virtually. If you've been hacked on Facebook, if you've been hacked on Instagram, things like that can be prevented with this particular tool. Not only that, and I'm going to jump back over here to the screen. I want to show you some of the features of this thing because it's more than just virus protection, right? It protects your device, but I have this on my cell phone. I have it on my tablets. I have it on my mother's cell phone, my father's cell phone. They're all covered off of this one plan. Now, the LifeLock Identity Alert System is something that has helped me catch two fraudulent charges to date that would have cost me a total of $1,700 had it not been caught. So this thing is powerful. On top of that, if you're somebody that isn't as savvy with computers and you need to back up your information and you need a place for it to go that you know is going to be there if you need to switch systems or your computer gets destroyed or whatnot, that's included in this. You can actually save your information on the cloud backup system that they provide. And if for some reason your main device goes down, you can still access all of your important files. It manages your passwords when you're on the go. One thing I will tell you for certain, when you are on the go and you are at a hotel and all you have access to is that public Wi-Fi, it would behoove you to have what's called a VPN. It's a virtual private network. You could be sitting in your hotel room in Miami, Florida, and set your VPN to Spain, and nobody can track your movements in a way that they can hack you once you have that VPN on. It's little things like this that help protect us from these hackers that are so adamant about getting their hands on our information and things that we have worked so hard for: our credit scores, our income, our identities all together. Like, entire identities can be stolen. Did you know that people can actually file tax returns under your name and you'll be locked out of the system and won't be able to get yours? That's craziness. This can help you prevent that. Now, before anybody's like, she getting paid to share this, no, I'm not. I'm absolutely not. I don't even know how to get paid if I wanted to sharing this information with you. All I know is that this particular tool has come in very, very handy for me. This right here, the $1 Million Protection Package. I don't know if any of you have heard of Identity IQ. It's something that's associated with Legal Shield as well. But they offer something very similar, except for it's a one-off. It's like, I don't know, $14.99 a month, but it's specifically for identity protection in case you get that. But if you're going to pay that, you might as well add a little bit of money to it. And again, it might not be a little bit of money just at first thinking about it, but when you consider the things that can be interrupted when somebody breaks into your stuff and gets all disrespectful, it's more than worth it, time and time again. So there are several things that I protect myself with using all of this. And the reason why, exactly, it happened to you. And a simple $350 a year could prevent all of that, because when you consider the time that you had to go through recovering your identity, recovering your money, recovering whatever was stolen. And sometimes we can never recover it. I know at least 3 people who have had their Instagrams hacked, and they've let Instagram know, hey, I've been hacked. Instagram, aka Facebook, who currently owns Instagram, does not care. None of these people have been able to recover their accounts, because unless you're at a certain level of things as far as notoriety, celebrity status of some sort, they don't put in very much effort to get you your stuff back, no matter how disruptive it is. So it would behoove you, again, that if you don't invest in this level of Norton, there are several cheaper packages. I only prefer this one because I could track my credit scores. I can track, if I attach all of my bank accounts to it, I could track all of my bank accounts and my expenses all in one place. I can save all of my passwords. So if I forget a password, I just go to the password manager. If one of my 11 computers breaks down and I need the information on it, I back it up on the cloud system. Most people will never go through 500 gigs of cloud storage unless you are somebody that is into creating videos and stuff. So there are cheaper packages. Go check them out. I've been with Norton Semantics, it's the one in the same company, for probably almost a decade now. And as y'all see, we do a lot online around here. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this joker up. Check out Norton 360 and the similar products that they offer. And don't take my word for it. Check it out yourself. Worst case scenario, you sign up, get down the road, you decide you don't want it, cancel it. It's easy to do so, and they're easy to contact. I love the customer service as well. So with that, that's the end of today's Disconnector Sector.
And we are back. Thank you, Brandy, for that information, that great information. We'll have to talk about that backstage. But thank you for that. So we are back talking to Dr. D, and she is back. We're talking about just living life with intention and purpose and being authentic. And when you left, Dr. D, Shima was talking about, the platform, our tribe as her platform, and the revelation that she got about not always being what helps you push forward, but also just what holds you up in those times when you need it. And we definitely have that. So I don't know if anybody else had a question for Dr. D before we move on in regards to that. But what would you? I'll ask the question. Her first question: what would you say to the women out there who are not necessarily looking to build a platform in the regard that most people are thinking about, in terms of maybe speaking or writing, or just building stages, right, going on stages, or whatever that may be, starting business? But what would you say about those who are just looking to be supported, even if while they're working, while they're going through some family challenges? What would you say to those women?
Well, I would argue that we all have a platform connected to our purpose. So, platform doesn't necessarily mean a big stage with thousands of people, but I believe we all have a platform that's connected with our purpose, that those that God has connected us with and given us access to are a part of our purpose. And we have a platform there that we can use to influence those people. So that's first of all. I would say to those women that we need you. We really, really need you to walk in your purpose, to pursue your destiny. Whatever the thing is that's on the inside of you to do, whether it seems too small or whether it seems way too big for you to accomplish, know that we need one another and that you are a part of this circle. Right? There's a circle of interconnectivity, and that you are a part of it. Be encouraged, and know that you have a choice about who you choose to spend your time and your energy with and on. So choose wisely, because you're worth it. Choose to be in spaces where you're celebrated and not tolerated. Choose to be in spaces where you're built up and not torn down. To be in spaces where people are generous and loving and kind, and they smile when they see you rather than reject you. Make those choices for yourself, because you're worth it. It doesn't have to be this circle of sisters, but there's a circle for you, and make sure you find it and that you lean into it, you lean on it, that you allow yourself to be supported, and that you cradle others.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I would say to people, right, like your platform doesn't have to look like anybody else's. And when you're a part of the tribe, like Dr. D tribe, the other women understand that it doesn't have to, you don't have to do what they're doing, and it doesn't have to look like theirs. We're gonna support you in whatever it is that you choose to do, because it matters. So thank you for saying that everybody has a platform. You just have to figure out what that is, right? But thank you for that.
Yes, and start moving in the direction of it, because I think the other thing is that too often I see women who are trying to figure it all out from where they are. And Stonewall Martin, who's this wonderful prayer warrior woman, one of her books is called Just Enough Light for the Step That I'm On. Put one foot in front of the other and take the next step. You don't have to have it all figured out. But for God's sake, don't stand where you are. Don't stay where you are. Why are you staying there, withering away until you die? Take a step and choose the life that you desire, and choose the people that you desire to be surrounded by. You are worth it. You are worthy of it. So move forward. And I'm telling you, different choices will yield different outcomes, but you have to make that different choice. You make the decision. Until the pain of remaining the same outweighs the pain of change, people will choose to remain in the dysfunction that they are in. So you can choose the dysfunction that you are in, or you can choose to go ahead and take the painful step of making change, and maybe seeing your life and the lives of those connected to you completely transformed. It's up to you.
Wow. And that book was called Just Enough Light for the Step I'm On.
Yes, it's Stormy O'Martin. She's a prayer warrior.
Okay.
So she's got different books, but she has one called Just Enough Light for the Step that I'm on.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I just wanted to share that in case people wanted to get the book. So tell us, Dr. D, what's coming up? Any information that you want all the beautiful women that are out here watching right now? What's coming up? How can women connect with Dr. D Tribe, connect with you, connect with anything that's coming next?
Well, I really am trying to reconnect with my sisters. I know that the last 2 years have brought a lot of turmoil, and that a lot of us are trying to find our footing still, right? And I know some people are like, well, we got to move on past that, okay, well, I just said that we have to get our healing first, right? We have to admit the places where we're wounded, and we have to tend to those wounds so that we can move forward, more stronger and more resilient. So I am trying to bring a couple of things back. I guess I shouldn't say trying. I will be bringing some things back in October. We're going to be doing our second annual Focus and Fire conference. We're going to be in Delaware, near the beach. So we're going to be stateside at a lovely little hotel. It's a Hilton hotel. It's one of their Tapestry Collection hotels, just a little gem that I happened upon, and I wanted to share it with my sisters. So this year we're going to actually do the conference in October. I wanted to allow some time so that we could finish the year strong and then start 2023 even stronger. So we'll be up in October. There's two conferences in one. The first one is Focus. That's where we do our life planning. That's where we're going to kind of reignite our fire. For those of us who need some refueling of our fire, we're going to be looking again and anew at our dreams and our hopes and our desires and our gifts and our talents and our disappointments. All those things come together to help propel us from where we are to where we need to go. And so last year I created a customized planner. We're going to be using that planner in October to go ahead and try to revisit our values, revisit our vision, revisit our mission, and plan. We're going to be planning how to finish this year strong and how to start next year even stronger. So that's the first part of the conference that goes Friday through Sunday. And then the second part is called Fire. It's focused, inspired, resilient, entrepreneurial leadership accelerator. So it's a mouthful, but it's all about it's about really developing our businesses. Many of us are business owners, but not just our businesses, the entrepreneurial spirit that lives within us. Many of us as women, we have an entrepreneurial spirit. How do we fan the flames of our fire once again so that we're able to lead well in our homes, lead well in our communities, lead well at work, lead the businesses that God has given. And I'm going to have some powerful guests with me, some of them from the tribe. And then also I'm going to be bringing in a couple of my really good girlfriends, Yashima White, Ozzy Love. She's a powerhouse, specializes all around branding. She's traveled all over the place teaching people how to really ignite their brands. And so she's going to be there along with another friend of mine, Harvard educated Doris Thomas, who was a board member at the SBA, is going to be teaching women how to build their businesses. So we're going to have really powerful women there. This is the first time I'm going to be bringing other women alongside me because we really need an infusion, especially us women. We need an infusion because we got to lead this thing forward.
I'm sorry, Dr. D, to cut you off. We are at the end of the show, but what I want to do is if we can get the fire and focus, if you're okay with that, we can put it on the show page and then tell women how they can actually sign up for the event in October. Everybody, this has been Another episode of FEM Talk. We love you all. We thank you. Please connect with Dr. D. All the information will be on the FEM Talk. Oh, I'm bringing Whole Living into this. We're there too, though. How about that?
That's right.
On the FEM Talk show page and the Whole Living show page. Thank you, everybody. Take care.